Good day, everyone. Today, we'll be diving into media and information languages. Our goal is to understand how media communicates meaning through various codes, conventions, and narrative structures. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to evaluate media based on these elements and even produce your own media content that effectively utilizes them. We're focusing on two main competencies today. So first is to evaluate everyday media regarding codes, conventions, and messages, considering the audience, producers, and other stakeholders. Second is to produce or producing and assessing codes, conventions, and messages in group presentations. Now, what is media languages? Media languages are codes, conventions, formats, symbols, and narrative structures that indicate the meaning of media messages to an audience. This means that media languages are the elements used to communicate meaning in media content. Just like how we use language to communicate, media uses these elements to convey messages to the audience. Now that we're a bit familiar with media languages, how about genre? Genre or the term genre comes from a French word meaning type or class. And in media, a genre can be recognized by its set of distinguished features, also known as codes and conventions. For example, in a genre horror movie or horror movie genre, it has a specific traits that make it recognizable as part of the horror genre, correct? Such as eerie music, dark settings, and suspenseful scenes. So that is how you will identify the genres based on its codes and conventions. As mentioned earlier in genres, we have codes and conventions. So codes are systems of signs that when put together create meaning. So in media, a sign can be anything that communicates a message, such as words, images, sounds, or even gestures. So for example, a red heart is often used as a code to represent love. In films, codes include elements like camera angles, lighting, color, and costumes. So each of these has its own meaning, but when combined, they help tell a story or convey a specific emotion to the audience. So the study of these signs and how they are used to create meaning is called semiotics. So understanding codes helps us decode the messages that media is trying to send. Now, how about convention? Conventions are the generally accepted ways of doing something. In media, this means following patterns or rules that people expect. For example, in action movies, it's common to see fast-paced editing, intense music, and dramatic stunts. Now, these are conventions of the genre because audience have come to expect them. So conventions make it easier for viewer to understand the story because they rely on familiar patterns. For example, when we see dark clouds and hear thunder in a film, we know something bad is going to happen. That's a convention that filmmakers use to build tension. So in summary, codes are like the building blocks that carry meaning, while conventions are the rules or patterns that help shape how those codes are used. So together, they allow creators to communicate with the audience effectively by understanding codes and conventions. We can better analyze and appreciate different forms of media from movies, TV shows, to advertisement and online content. Now, there are three main types of codes used in media, of course, and we have symbolic, the written, and the technical. So let's start with symbolic codes. Symbolic codes, these are visual signs like colors, objects, body languages, or body language and clothing that conveys per meanings. For example, the use of red color can symbolize danger or passion, just like that. Okay. Okay, so question, what is the essence of symbols in media, specifically in videos or films? The essence of symbols in media, specifically in videos or films, is to communicate deeper meanings without using words. So, for example, a heart symbol can represent love, while a dark, stormy sky might hint at something bad is about to happen. Now, symbols help tell story by adding emotions and ideas the audience can understand easily. So even if they are not directly stated, by using colors, objects, actions, filmmakers can quickly convey important messages or themes, making the experience more engaging and meaningful for, of course, every viewers. Next, written codes. Written codes, these refers to textual elements such as headlines, captions, and speech bubbles. So they help convey the main message of the media content. Now, what do you notice about the front page of these newspapers that we have? So, when looking at the front page of newspapers, you might notice several key elements like the headlines, the images, the bylines and datelines, the columns and layouts, and of course, the text and captions. So, look at the pictures that we have. So, headlines are the bold, large text at the top that catches your attention and summarizes the most important news stories. Now, images that you can see, or the photos or graphics, are used to draw the reader's eye and add visual interest to the articles given. And of course, the bylines and the datelines, these indicate who wrote the story and where or when it was reported, giving credibility to the information given. And the fourth one is the columns and layout. The page is divided into sections with the most important news placed at the top or center. Now, this helps readers easily find key stories, and text and captions, short descriptions under images, explain what they show and connect them to the news articles. So these elements work together to make the front page informative and visually engaging, guiding you or us, readers, on what stories to pay attention to first. Lastly, the technical codes. Technical codes, these involves the equipments and techniques used to create media, such as camera angles, lighting, and sound. In films, music plays a crucial role in setting the mood and enhancing the story. There are two main types of music we hear in films. We have the score and the soundtrack. So let's break down the difference between them. So first, score. The score is the instrumental music that is specifically composed for a film. It's designed to match the emotions of each scene, whether it's creating tension during the suspenseful moment or adding excitement to an action sequence. So a score are usually orchestra or electronic pieces that you hear throughout the movie, but aren't necessarily songs you'd recognize. So they help guide the audience feelings and reaction to what's happening on screen. Now, how about soundtrack? Soundtrack. The soundtrack, on the other hand, includes all the sounds in a film. So this can mean songs, dialogue, sound effects, and the score itself. So sometimes it's a collection of popular songs that are chosen to fit certain scenes or themes. For example, a movie might feature a well-known pop song during a dance scene, and like the score, the song on soundtrack may not be made for the film. They can be pre-existing tracks that are selected to enhance the specific moments. So soundtracks are often released as albums, so fans can listen to the music outside of the movie. So let's have another example. Think of a superhero movie, The Intense. We have dramatic music playing during the final battle in is actually that sound that you can hear is the score. But if a popular song plays when the hero is introduced, that part of the movie is soundtrack. So why does it matters? So both scores and soundtracks are important because they add depth to the storytelling. They can make scenes more exciting, emotional, or memorable, and they help set the tone of the film. Without music, of course, the film might not have the same impact on the audience. Now, how about diegetic and non-diegetic? So, in diegetic, it is when the sound score or soundtrack is heard by the character. So, it belongs in the character's world, or the characters are really hearing the sounds. To then, it is diegetic. Now, in short, diegetic sound, these are sounds heard by the characters, such as dialogues or sounds within the story's world. Now, non-diegetic, the characters do not hear the sound, they are only used to heighten the experience and connection of the viewers. So it has no effect on the actual characters. In short, non-diegetic sound, these are sounds meant for the audience experience. So like uh, background music or a soundtrack. So the characters don't hear them, but they help enhance the viewing experience. So how important is the sound effects or background music in a film? So sound effects and background music are key elements in films that help to create a more engaging, emotional, and memorable experience for the audience. Okay, so how to use music in films? We have five of them listed. So uh, we're not gonna one by one explain its definition because it's too long. So I'll just give you a gist of it. Okay, so in the first one, music can serve several functions. Okay, number one, create an atmosphere. It means that it sets the tone of the scene, such as creepy tune in a horror movie, for example. And then the second one, it provide narrative guidance. So in providing narrative guidance, music can hint at the character's intention or set the mood for a scene. Third is to portray emotions. So the right music enhances the emotional impact of a scene. Okay. Now, fourth, highlight cultural, social, or geographical cues. This means that music can reflect the culture or social context of a scene. And lastly, we have connecting scenes. In connecting scenes or connect scenes, it, it is a consistent musical theme that can link different parts of a movie. Now we're down to cinematic cinematic lighting. So what is cinematic lighting? Cinematic lighting is a technique used in filmmaking that does more than just making sure that you can see the actors and the set. So it's also designed to add drama, depth, and atmosphere to the scenes. So helping to tell the story in a more visual and emotional way. Unlike basic lighting setups, cinematic lighting goes beyond simply illuminating the subjects. It uses creative tricks to enhance the overall feel of the film. So why cinematic lighting matters? Bakit nga ba? Cinematic lighting is important because it can completely change how the scene feels. So it guides the audience attention to what's important. It helps set the mood and even reveals something about the characters. So for example, kapag bright and warm light ang nagsishine sa character's face, it can show that they are happy and hopeful, while kapag dark, shadowy light um, might suggest they are hiding something or feeling afraid. So by using these light techniques, filmmakers can add more depth to their storytelling and make the film more visually interesting and emotionally engaging, right? So for example, sa isang thriller movie, you might see a scene where my character or yung character is hiding in a dark room and there's only a beam light, of small beam light sa kanyang face. So this use of light, yung small beam light na yun, creates tension and makes the audience feel anxious, ganon, because they know something is about to happen. That's the power of cinematic lighting. So it doesn't just show you what's happening; it makes you feel it. Now we have at least three techniques in cinematic lighting. So first we have the bouncing light. This technique involves reflecting light off a surface, like maybe a white wall or a special reflector to create a softer, more natural looking light. So it helps to evenly light the scene without making the shadows too harsh. For example, if the character is standing in bright sunlight, so the bouncing light can make the scene look less harsh and more pleasing to the eye, of course. Now, second, we have the diffusing light. So, diffusing light, diffusion is used, which means to spread light out even more. Okay, spread light more evenly pala. So it softens the light and reduces sharp shadows, giving a more gentle and even glow. So filmmakers might place a filter to or cloth cover over the light source, for example, to diffuse it. So which can make, of course, the scene feel warmer or more intimate. So it's like using dim lamp instead of a harsh bright bulb, right? So i-cover mo yung source of light. So that will create, of course, that warmer feeling or more intimate feeling. Okay. And lastly, we have the adjusting color temperature. So here, different types of light have different temperatures, of course, or colors. So for example, sa candlelight it is more warm, yellowish in color, while fluorescent light might be cooler and bluish, right? So by adjusting the color temperature, filmmakers can create a specific mood. So a warm, golden light can make a scene appear cozy and safe. While kapag cool naman, yung cool and bluish light can make it feel cold or tense. Okay? So by learning those things about cinematic lighting and the techniques in cinematic lightings, why is lighting important? So lighting is one of the most essential elements in filmmaking because it does more than just brighten the scene. So it helps to create a visual mood, an atmosphere, and meaning for the audience. So without proper lighting, of course, even the best scenes can look flat ganun, or uninteresting. So, but if may mga lighting naman, filmmakers can add emotion, drama, depth, making the story more engaging and mas may impact siya or mas powerful, sabi nga nila. So there are a lot of things why lighting is important. We have three here. So the first one, the role of lighting in guiding the audience. Okay, so one of the key functions of lighting in film is to guide the audience attention. So the way a scene is lit helps viewers know where to focus. Tutulungan ka nung light na tignan kung saan mo focus yung paningin mo sa itong character ba na to, ito, o yan. So for instance, if a spotlight shines on a particular actor, so it tells the audience or you that this character is important at that moment. Okay, so similarly, lighting can highlight specific props or areas of a scene, making sure the viewers notice crucial details that are, of course, essential to the story. So this technique helps control what the audience sees and how they interpret the scene. Okay, now next one. Lighting reflects the psychology of characters. Now here, lighting can also be used to show the psychology and emotions of characters. So for example, bright, soft lighting might indicate that character is happy, just like what said a while ago, or relaxed, or in a safe environment. On the other hand, kapag harsh, dark light can create, of course, a sense of fear, stress, or sadness. So the way light surrounds a character can tell us a lot about their feelings. So for example, kapag yung character um, na sinagan sa warm, gentle light. So it might appear na gentle light, so it is more calm and content, right? If the character is surrounded by shadows, so it may seem more like mysterious kasi madaming shadows or like more troubled siya because of shadows nga, just like what I've said. So intense bright light naman on character's face can make them look nervous or even dangerous. So by adjusting the amount, the size, the color, and harshness of lights, filmmaker can match the lighting to the character's emotion or emotional state, helping us, the audience, to connect more deeply with the character's feelings. Okay, so that is for number two. Sorry, the definition was short, but I just need to say that out. And lastly, we have the lighting defines and supports the film's genre, or just like what is flash on the screen, lighting defines and support the genre of the film. So here, in different film genres, they have their own distinct lighting styles, correct? So which helps set the right mood For example, so horror movies or horror films, it often use low dim light to create suspense and make the audience feel uneasy. So minsan meron pang flickering lights or shadows can make scene more feel intense, feel more tense and unpredictable. Second, kapag naman in romantic films, they tend to use soft, warm lighting para mag-create siya ng intimacy and comfort. And another one is we have the film. I don't know how to say it. Is it noir? It's like Noir. If you would like to check me with the pronunciation, that's fine with me. I'll just say it that way. So, a genre known for its crime and mystery themes. So, here has a very unique lighting style naman pag mga ganitong klase ng genre. So, it uses like stark contrast between light and dark, ganyan. So, often with dramatic shadows that fall across the character's face or in the scene. So this style makes everything um, look mysterious, stylish, and sometimes dangerous. Okay, so the dramatic patterns of light and shadow, along with unique framing, give film noir its classic, unforgettable look. Lighting. So lighting, just like what I've said, lighting is a tool that clearly conveys the mood of the scene. So making it easy for us, the audience, to feel the intended emotions and get a sense of story's tone. Okay, now students, let me just correct the pronunciation of the word. It spells Noir. So I've searched it in the internet and it says that it is pronounced as noir. Noir. Okay, it's noir. So last slide, language is a source of misunderstanding. Mhm. Okay, so language is powerful, but it can also lead to lead to lead to misunderstandings. Okay, that is actually correct. So uh this reminds us that while words connect us, they can sometimes create confusion. So it's a call to choose our words carefully, listen actively, and strive for clarity. Okay, so by learning to express ourselves clearly and understanding others, we can build stronger connections and avoid unnecessary conflict. So let's use language not just to speak, but to truly communicate. Okay, so that'll be all. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Have a great day or good night, everyone. Okay.